Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 22 sci-fi movies of each year.
Nice to see a new face for a change. Follow me.
For this list, we'll be looking at the greatest science fiction films of each year from 2000 to 2021. We won't be including animated or superhero flicks, however. Which movie spurred your imagination the most? Let us know in the comments below. 2000, Pitch Black.
They say most of your brain shuts down in cryosleep. All but the primitive side. The animal side.
A surprising sleeper hit, Pitch Black is notable for introducing the character of Riddick into the cinematic landscape. Vin Diesel plays the famous character, a criminal who is being transported aboard a spaceship. The ship then crash lands on an alien planet that is filled with sun-hating and bloodthirsty creatures. The movie's twist on the alien planet formula was widely praised, with many finding the creatures to be interesting enemies. But the real star of the movie is Diesel, whose Riddick is equally deplorable, cool, and enjoyably rebellious. He strikes the perfect balance between likable and villainous, crafting one of the 21st century's greatest anti-heroes in the process.
You said clear.
I said it looks clear.
What's it look like now?
Looks clear.
2001, Donnie Darko. A definitive cult classic, Richard Kelly's Donnie Darko is an enigma that's been pulling viewers in for over 2 decades now.
28 days, 6 hours, 42 minutes, 12 seconds.
After a man in a bunny suit named Frank saves him from being crushed by a jet engine, young Donnie Darko learns that the world will end in less than a month. The movie's unapologetically bizarre premise is further heightened by odd characters.
You're weird.
Sorry.
Yeah, that was a compliment.
Donnie's drive to understand what's happening to him echoes our own, though he also deals with the ups and downs of being a teenager. Dissecting the plot and ambiguous ending with others has made it one of the century's most enduring sci-fi films.
Going home.
2002, Minority Report. In a beautiful blend of sci-fi and crime noir, Steven Spielberg brings Philip K. Dick's short story to life in tremendous fashion.
Why'd you catch that?
Because it was gonna fall.
You're certain?
Yeah.
But it didn't fall. You caught it. The fact that you prevented it from happening doesn't change the fact that it was going to happen.
Set in a future where police can foresee future crimes, the program's commanding officer has to go on the run when he's the next suspect.
You don't have to chase me.
You don't have to run.
Everybody runs, Fletch.
Tom Cruise's John Anderton is an emotionally engrossing protagonist, searching for answers as he tries to outrun advanced technology. Minority Report isn't the first sci-fi film to navigate the theme of free will, but it masterfully explores it between riveting action sequences. It's some of Spielberg's best work. 2003, The Matrix Reloaded. When we heard that The Matrix was receiving a sequel, some let out a collective groan. It didn't need one, and sequels are, for the most part, notoriously disappointing. Well, The Matrix Reloaded proved to be one of the rare exceptions.
Okay, you have some skill.
The filmmaking was extravagant, complete with stellar visual effects and imaginative action sequences that really took advantage of the digital world and its lack of realism. It also introduced some fun new characters and delved deeper into the history and mythology of the Matrix itself. It's a greatly enjoyable sequel that satisfied those hungry for Matrix lore and those who just wanted to watch some mind-bending action.
We are getting aggravated.
Yes, we are.
2004, Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. Like Her, the sci-fi elements of Eternal Sunshine are understated. with the film instead navigating technology's impact on us. Upon learning his girlfriend has erased him from her memory, Joel Barish signs up for the same procedure. He and the audience then relive their relationship in reverse. Unfortunately for Joel, he changes his mind midway through.
Pretty Swiak. Please let me keep this memory. Just this one.
It's a haunting reminder of how hard it can be to let go of someone you've loved. And though its unique cinematography gives it an otherworldly appearance, it's a movie most of us can relate to. It's also some of the best work Jim Carrey and Kate Winslet have ever put out, which is saying a lot.
It would be different if we could just give it another go-round.
Remember me. Try your best.
2004 additionally saw the release of Primer, a very low-budget and experimental work that was almost single-handedly made by Shane Carruth.
You know that story about how NASA spent millions of dollars developing this pen that writes in zero-G? Did you ever read that?
Yeah.
And how Russia solved the problem?
Yeah, they used a pencil.
Right, a normal wooden pencil.
2005, Serenity. In 2005, the Star Wars prequel trilogy concluded with Revenge of the Sith, which is widely considered the best of the prequels. But it wasn't the greatest science fiction movie of the year. That would be Joss Whedon's Serenity.
I'm a leaf on the wind. Watch how I soar.
This is a continuation of Firefly, which was infamously canceled after just one season. And like its predecessor, Serenity is sci-fi at its best. It's wonderfully imaginative in its world building, and said world is populated by a memorable cast of characters. These characters are flawlessly acted and given whip-smart dialogue from Whedon. Plus, the movie also kicks a lot of butt, complete with a relentless pace and lots of fun action. Put simply, it's a cult classic.
You're telling me that because you think I don't know?
2006, Children of Men. In the not-too-distant future, mass infertility has pushed humanity to the point of near extinction. Many governments have fallen, with the UK becoming a police state due to rampant immigration. Children of Men is an incredibly bleak movie, but it's also one of hope, redemption, and love.
She's pregnant.
Yeah, I know. It's a miracle, isn't it?
Upon meeting the first pregnant woman in decades, pessimist Theo must get her to safety. Performances from Clive Owen, Chiwetel Ejiofor, and Claire Hope Ashite are absolutely stunning. The film's unflinching cinematography puts you in each tense situation, leaving you breathless. It isn't a movie that'll leave your mind soon, and it's one of the best this century, let alone in the sci-fi genre. (2007) Time Crimes. Released as Los Cronocrímenes in its native Spain, Time Crimes concerns a man named Hector who inadvertently finds himself in a casual time loop. The story is quite audacious as it takes many fun twists and turns while gleefully playing with the concept of time. It also does a lot with the little, generating a fierce imagination with very limited budget. Finally, the story itself is rooted in relatable human drama, which serves as a nice anchor for the outlandish and otherworldly time hopping. It's a movie that would make Christopher Nolan proud, being both humane and inventively constructed.
Tranquilo. Aún falta un rato para que empiece a llover.
2008, Cloverfield. There are many brilliant minds behind Cloverfield, including director Matt Reeves, writer Drew Goddard, and producer J.J. Abrams. The reputable names and a genius marketing campaign produced a ton of hype, and for the most part, Cloverfield delivered. Part Godzilla, part The Blair Witch Project, Cloverfield concerns a giant aquatic creature that begins terrorizing Manhattan. The movie mostly foregoes monster action to focus mainly on the characters' reactions to the incident, and the found footage cinematography places us as viewers in the middle of the action. It's thrilling to watch a monster movie from the frightened and confused vantage point of everyday citizens, and it allows Cloverfield to generate many unforgettable moments. 2009, District 9. It's hard to beat 2009 when it comes to science fiction, as that year saw the release of Avatar, Moon, and arguably the best of them all, District 9. A scathing rebuke of xenophobia and apartheid, the latter holds a mirror up to the disturbing real world.
We didn't have a plan. There was a million of them. So what was a temporary holding zone soon became fenced, became militarized, and before we knew it, it was a slum.
Following the arrival of insect-like aliens in South Africa, the government forces them into slums. One bureaucrat's life is turned upside down when he comes into contact with strange alien liquid that begins to mutate him. Afraid and disowned by his own organization, he's left to team up with one of the aliens.
Please, you don't. I need to hide. Okay. They want to kill me, all right? I just need to hide here, sir, for 5 minutes.
Although certain elements are fantastical, District 9's partial found footage approach and use of unknown actors makes it feel realistic. It earned 4 Oscar nominations, including Best Picture and Best Visual Effects. 2010, Inception. Christopher Nolan has given us multiple sci-fi juggernauts this century. Just look at Interstellar. But his absolute best is the action-packed tale of dream implantation. Following a botched job, extractor Dom Cobb is offered the chance to return home to his children. All he has to do is something that no one has ever successfully pulled off: plant an idea in a target's subconscious. What follows is a thrilling heist through several levels of dreams, an incredible concept made better by supreme camera work. The cast is wonderful, the effects are mind-bending, and Nolan's direction once again proves he's an entirely original blockbuster filmmaker. 2011, Super 8. This fantastic film is basically Stranger Things in movie form. Intentionally designed to replicate Spielbergian movies of the 70s and 80s, Super 8 is an equally comforting and exciting homage to science fiction of the past. The story concerns a small town in Ohio being invaded by an ominous military presence and a mysterious creature. Abrams is a spectacular storyteller, and just like Spielberg before him, he deftly blends elements of humane drama and visually dazzling sci-fi action. All of this is set in a bygone era of suburban America, which is meant to generate intense feelings of nostalgia in older viewers. Maybe it's cliche to say, but they just don't make them like this anymore.
I know bad things happen. Bad things happen. But you can still live.
2012, Looper. Time travel has not yet been invented, but 30 years from now, it will have been. Thus begins Rian Johnson's brilliant sci-fi crime thriller. Loopers kill and dispose of people sent back by criminal organizations, even if the person is themselves. When one fails to get rid of his future self, he has to figure out how to catch him before the other loopers hunt him down for failing.
You're a loop. You lied to me. But I know you're not lying when you say you're gonna kill this guy. Your own self.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt and Emily Blunt give stellar performances. The film's slick plot oozes cool, and its visual effects, though sparse, offer bombastic action sequences. 2013, Her.
Hello, I'm here.
Oh. Hi.
Hi.
Bong Joon-ho's Snowpiercer is an imaginative glimpse into a potential post-apocalyptic future, but we're giving this spot to Her. It tells the story of the lonely Theodore, a man who falls in love with Samantha, his artificially intelligent assistant. Emotionally distraught from his upcoming divorce, Theodore connects with Samantha on a new and unique level.
I wish you were in this room with me right now. I should put my arms around you. I wish I could touch you.
At times sorrowful and at others heartwarming, the film is an engrossing look at the evolution of modern relationships. And it's uplifted by Joaquin Phoenix's beautiful portrayal of Theodore and Scarlett Johansson's intoxicating voiceover as Samantha.
You know, I can feel the fear that you carry around, and I wish there was something I could do to help you let go of it, because if you could, I don't think you'd feel so alone anymore.
It may not be as high concept as most other sci-fi films, but it is just as captivating. 2014, Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. 2014 was another spectacular year for science fiction, containing the likes of Edge of Tomorrow and Interstellar. While Matt Reeves also closed out the trilogy fantastically, we have to give the spot to the middle entry. Following the outbreak of the simian flu, most of humanity has perished while Caesar and his apes have grown hyper-intelligent.
Apes! Do not want war, but will fight if we must.
This sequel reaches the same visual heights as the first, with Caesar once again flawlessly motion captured by Andy Serkis. Not only that, but the story soars as the apes clash with the surviving humans. Terrific set pieces bring the action to the forefront, and everything combines to make it a standout entry in this long-running franchise. 2015, Mad Max Fury Road. Alex Garland made a brilliant directorial debut with Ex Machina, but there's just no beating Mad Max.
Oh, what a day! What a lovely day!
Although it had been 30 years since Beyond Thunderdome, George Miller showed there was plenty of life left in the Mad Max franchise. In fact, more life than there'd ever been. The post-apocalyptic film follows Max as he reluctantly aids a group of runaways, enslaved wives of the warlord Immortan Joe. Led by Furiosa, played by an impossibly good Charlize Theron, the group flees across the wasteland. With Joe in pursuit, the entire film is one explosive chase sequence after another. The effects and stunt work have us frequently picking our jaws off the floor. We weren't the only ones impressed, as Fury Road earned a plethora of awards. 2016, Arrival. Before Blade Runner 2049, Denis Villeneuve delivered this beautifully tragic sci-fi film. Amy Adams plays linguist Louise Banks, who's contracted by the U.S. government when alien spacecrafts arrive on Earth. It's Banks' job to decipher their language and figure out if they came in peace or are here for war.
Well, let's say that I taught them chess instead of English. Every conversation would be a game, every idea expressed through opposition. Victory, defeat, you see the problem? If all I ever gave you was a hammer,
Everything's a nail.
The aliens are more like an inciting incident, with the film exploring existentialism and philosophy through humanity's encounters with them. However, the movie also highlights how unimaginative loss and a mother's love can be exquisitely intertwined.
You come back to me.
We won't spoil the ending, but suffice to say, it's mind-blowing. 2017, Blade Runner 2049.
Mr. Morton, if taking you in is an option, I would much prefer that to the alternative.
Blade Runner is a phenomenal sci-fi film that doesn't need a sequel, is what we said before Denis Villeneuve's masterpiece. While it was a box office failure, this follow-up proved a worthy companion piece to Ridley Scott's original.
I've never retired something that was born before.
What's the difference?
To be born is to have a soul, I guess.
Upon finding evidence of a replicant-born child, Blade Runner and Replicant K is ordered to track down the child and kill them to avoid a war. While Ryan Gosling's K understandably shows a lack of emotion, his introspective journey takes him through a cavalcade of interesting characters, including the return of Harrison Ford's Rick Deckard.
I'm not here to take you in.
Oh, yeah? Then what?
I just have some questions.
Additionally, it's an absolutely gorgeous film that finally earned cinematographer Roger Deakins his first Oscar. Meanwhile, War for the Planet of the Apes wrapped up the modern trilogy with visual extravagance and surprising emotional heft that same year. 2018, Annihilation. This is one of those movies that walks a very tricky line between mainstream enjoyment and art house experimentation. Written and directed by Alex Garland of Ex Machina fame, Annihilation is another genius bit of science fiction from the new master. Based on the novel by Jeff Vandermeer, Annihilation concerns a group of scientists venturing into a bizarre alien landscape.
The shimmer is a prism, but it refracts everything. Not just light and radio waves. Animal DNA, plant DNA, all DNA.
The movie is a visual and visceral delight. The shimmer is particularly beautiful, and the creatures it creates are positively nightmarish. But the movie arguably works best when it's focusing on the characters and their universal struggles. Through the lens of exciting science fiction, Annihilation tackles some incredibly difficult themes about the human condition. 2019, Ad Astra. Ironically, science fiction is arguably at its best when telling a grounded story. This is the case with James Gray's Ad Astra. This movie is about fun space travel, yes, but at its heart, it's a universal tale about the father-son bond. Brad Pitt plays Roy McBride, a space command major who is battling dangerous power surges in the solar system. He then learns that the surges have been traced to his father, who has been presumed dead for decades.
We're gonna stop it. Get the two of us back home, maybe.
Oh.
Yeah.
This is home.
The story is wonderfully told, mixing stellar moments of sci-fi fancy and compassionate drama centered around the parent-child relationship. Ad Astra is also an audio-visual feast, and Pitt's performance is typically exceptional. This is science fiction with both brains and a heart. 2020, Love and Monsters. 2020 was a notoriously difficult year for movies, as the COVID pandemic shut down theaters around the world. Love and Monsters proved to be a bright spot, uplifting audiences when they needed it most.
Oh, Canis familiaris. You found my foot. Thank you.
It's my dog.
He's delightful.
A fun little mix of horror, science fiction, and coming-of-age comedy, Love and Monsters takes place in a post-apocalyptic world populated by dangerous creatures. Dylan O'Brien makes for a fantastic lead, playing Joel Dawson, proving effortlessly charming and hilarious.
Yes! Yes! Oh, my God! Oh, that was awesome. Oh, I feel like Tom Cruise.
This type of modestly budgeted action comedy is quite rare these days, and it was nice to see a science fiction movie taking comedic advantage of its wacky premise.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
2021, Dune. Frank Herbert's iconic novel has been adapted before, but the less said about David Lynch's film, the better. Nearly 30 years later, it was Denis Villeneuve's turn, and he churned out an instant classic.
You fight when the necessity arises, no matter the mood. Now fight! Come on!
Villeneuve beautifully translated the first half of Herbert's novel for the big screen, which isn't easy considering the novel's labyrinthine storyline and cast of characters. But even more important than the movie's story is its breathtaking scope.
Bless the Maker and his water. Bless the coming and going of him. May his passage cleanse the world and keep the world for his people.
Dune proves why movie theaters are still relevant, using a $165 million budget to craft one of the greatest sci-fi worlds in movie history. Seeing it on the big screen is an absolute must. Dune is a masterpiece of technical filmmaking, and Villeneuve placed yet another solid entry in his increasingly robust filmography.
My desert. My Iraqis.
by Dune. Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.